Siamo nello stand di B&B dove è in atto una sperimentazione dei linguaggi del design e parliamo con Vincent Van Duysen. What about your new product for B&B?
Well, I'm going to try to explain a little bit where it comes from. I was requested by B&B a couple of months ago to design some complements, lower tables for the living room area or for whatever other areas in the home. And we came out with this collection, which I called Surface, for many reasons. First of all, I mean, as you know, I'm an architect, and this kind of work, this kind of elements are derivatives of my architecture. In fact, they're pretty linear, and they are kind of suggestive in terms of they remind of a certain beam, like a beam that is an element that you see regularly in architecture. But here we translated, or I tried to translate the form of the archetypical beam into a lower table system, which is very rectangular as a beam itself, with a very subtle contrast in materials, where else we have metal which is chromato, metal lucido, or metal which is a little bit more opaque, and in contrast with a warmer material which is wood on top. The reason why the collection has been called Surface is because we've treated the surface or the top of the tables in various ways. I mean, it's very graphical design. It reminds a little bit of a tray that you put on top of a table, but in terms of a freestanding tray, the tray is inserted and is part of the fixed top of the table itself. Playing with it and making this kind of geographical divisions and playing very subtle with the colors, it becomes almost a kind of a Mondrian style-alike design, which is very Calvinistic, very rigorous, but at the same time it gives a certain dynamism to a form which is actually very rigid, as you see it as a freestanding element, and especially the ones in the back, which are more monochromatic, more simple, whereas these ones where we can play with different materials and different colors and different divisions on the top, they become more playful, and people can really literally use them as they want. They can use them as a single element in front of their sofas, they can use them in a combination with a couple of them so the table become bigger, they can use them, and in whatever is condition, they can use them in the bedroom. I mean, there is no purpose, like a real purpose or a real destination to place any of its objects.
And what about your relationship with the company, with B&B?
Well, the relationship dates from a couple of years, from 2001. Which is a pretty long time right now, I mean, I have a very good relationship with them. Actually, they were actually the first ones that picked me out of the blue, because I mean, I'm not a designer, I'm an architect, and the people of B&B, they were aware about my architecture through publications, and they were very impressed by my work, in terms that my work not only shows the architecture as itself, but I do work a lot on the interiors, and especially, I mean, some of my interior designs, you can consider them as domestic architectural elements. So, and that's what I really want to distill, what I really want to distinguish, and that's the reason why they've contacted me, and that's also why the first time when they contacted me, I started to design this first collection, which was the VVD collection, a various collection of seatings, which unfortunately is not in collection anymore, but we still, from that on, had a very close relationship, and I mean, it's very interesting to work with people like B&B, who has like the knowledge of manufacturing furniture since ages. I mean, they have all the knowledge, they have a lot of technical support, and especially being an architect and not an industrial designer, it's a very strange and a very rare combination, but a very particular, very positive experience to work with these people, me as a young architect, and them with all the experience as furniture manufacturers.